women, bringing you inspiring stories, politics, pop culture, and lifestyle hacks, all with an eye to making our communities and our country a better place to live. It's the Happy Women Podcast with your hosts, Jen Horn and Katie Gorka.
All right, guys, are you ready to fight aging and start making America healthy again? I think that is what has caught so many of us up in maybe a little RFK Jr. fever. We're going to talk about that today, plus keeping yourself young and healthy for as long as possible. Welcome to the Happy Women Podcast. I'm Jennifer Horn.
And I'm Katie Gorka.
And I want to introduce you to our guest on today's episode. Raquel Gardner is a certified nutritionist, and she is here to talk about the effects of a healthy diet on your life, collagen supplements. We got to talk to you about our new product as well, Raquel. This is absolutely fantastic from Bright Core. This collagen is awesome. We've been talking about it for the last several weeks. So welcome to the Happy Women Podcast. So nice to have you here.
Thank you, guys. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to dive into all this fun information that's valuable.
So I have to tell you, starting out, I didn't know exactly what to think of RFK Jr. I was like, okay, some of the stuff he says is pretty good. I love that he fought back during COVID because I think Katie and I both felt that we were being lied to. And turns out we were being lied to by some of the members of the swamp, some of the government. And of course, Big Pharma has become a big money-making scheme around town. So when I heard RFK, a lot of the stuff that he said was, for me, right on. And then some of the other stuff, I thought, well, maybe. But I don't know if there is a better person to put in charge of health and human services because he is going to be able to question everything. And I think when it comes to our health, it is so important for us to be our own doctors, 100%. Our own nutritionists, because there is a great deal of personal responsibility that comes with knowing our body, knowing what's good for ourselves and for our family. And the best thing we can do is ask those questions, Raquel. How do you feel? We know that he's got the votes necessary for confirmation. We just need to get that hearing in the books. But what do you think about RFK Jr. as the head of Health and Human Services?
Well, I love him. I'm so excited for this. This was something that I was praying for even before he actually, Trump actually appointed him this position. And, when he was lobbying for his position, it was really funny because he said to the people, if we're trying to do something great for the people of this country, why wouldn't you want to do something great for the people of this country? It's like, hello. But there's so much It's like there's so much corruption that we have to pull out all of the crap. You got to understand these big pharma companies and the people that have been running these companies and the FDA and, the FDA is funded by big pharma. Yep. So we're fighting a fight that's going to be extremely hard to get past, but I don't believe that, it's not fightable. I think that we need to uncover the lies. We need to uncover the deceit. We need to start getting the American people to understand that you have to take charge of your own body, of your own life, of your own health. Don't rely on commercials you see or even what your doctor says. Doctors are amazing. God bless them because they work so hard, but they're working so hard that they don't even have time to keep up with all of the new technologies and the new advancements in healthcare. So, and that's a proven fact. So it's like you're talking to your doctor doesn't even know because he doesn't even have time to know. He's over inundated with paperwork and this and that. So it's like, how do we as a country take care of our own health? How do we get on top of that? And I think that now is the time. And RFK is starting to expose this, and he's leading us down that road, which I think is really important. And it has to happen now.
So I love this because this is really the point in the book by Peter Attia. I don't know if you've read this one called Outlive, the Science and Art of Longevity. And the argument that he makes is we're sort of in medicine 2.0 right now, which is all about treating the symptoms, right? You wait until people get sick but at which point it's generally too late. If they've got heart disease, if they've got cancer, if they've got, any number of things, you cannot pull people back necessarily from the brink, right? That's it. But his argument is, he believes we are kind of at this new phase, what he calls medicine 3.0. And I think RFK really captures this, right? It's really all about how do we make ourselves healthier so that we don't get those illnesses. And I know that we've talked about, the corruption of the pharmaceutical industry, but I want to tell you the one that really galls me is that whole sort of collusion between, I guess, the cereal companies and the food manufacturers and the FDA in coming up with that just ridiculous food pyramid that we all grew up with. Yeah. And for me, this is so personal because I put on a lot of weight when I got pregnant with my 2 kids, and it took me 25 years to get that weight off. And the only reason I did is, and I have to give her a shout out, Dr. Ashley at PhD Weight Loss, came up with sort of a way of understanding how your body works. And it was really life-changing for me. Wow. So I just, I think sometimes it's also just the education that we need, but our whole culture, I get shocked when I go out oftentimes now in public and I see how many people are really unhealthy, young people being just overweight and unhealthy in all kinds of ways. So I'm excited. We need a revolution.
There was so much that you just said there that I have so many opinions about and have been just researching and really learning about. One is I don't know. I live in California. So I know that integrative medicine and and forward health is it's big here, and it's really important. I think that we start understanding that that's the future of our healthcare. Look at I know a lot of doctors that are out there in California here. They don't even take insurance. The ones that are claiming, that are really good, they don't even take insurance. They're all on a cash basis. And so I think down the line, this has to change, because not only is the healthcare system sucking the financial abundance out of our American people because it's just so expensive to even have healthcare, but we've got them so bamboozled that this is what they think they need. But also what you're saying, it's like, how do we educate the people, everybody, on just what you can do for you? Because you have to start with yourself, right? We all are influenced by things and people, but when I just feel like America has been under a bubble of influence from, I hate to say this, terrible people that are greedy, that are money hungry, that are driven by power. They're not driven by what is best for us, what is best for humankind. And right now, we are starting to see the effects. I know I just read a study that diabetes in children is up by more than 30% from 20 years ago, or even more than that. It's ridiculous.
So much of it is, I think, our addiction to convenience. And of course, you do have those bad actors out there who make a lot of money off of us being sick, or who make a lot of money of us being overweight, or whatever it might be. I mean, one of the things that really kills me is even when you're trying to be healthy, big agra and big pharma are owned by the same people. Exactly. They're spraying stuff on the food to make us sick because they want to be able to treat us. I mean, it really is. When you say it's like the push and pull and there's a lot of bad actors out there, you're right about that. And I think as parents, and I think there is a change. I do feel like there is a change where people are getting back to more whole foods, more ingredients. But I know growing up, I mean, my mom was a single mom and we'd have rice-a-roni and that was eating healthy. And then it was like breakfast cereal during the day and, whatever you took for lunch. I mean, it was
macaroni and cheese, cereal was your go-to in the morning.
Anything in a box.
Anything in a box.
Yeah, anything in the center of the supermarket. Now people are like, well, shop the perimeter.
The
That's
perimeter.
great. It's a little more expensive, but you have to get away from those processed foods. And I think that's finally sinking in with people. But man, people of my generation, we were all kids of convenience because we had parents who were working, whether they were single parents or both parents just out there. You didn't have anybody kind of holding down the fort in that respect.
So I just saw the craziest thing on, I think it was Instagram yesterday. Somebody posted, I follow so many different profiles, but somebody posted, it was a little parasitic bug that they crushed up. And they said that when they put it in water, it turned red. And this is what's being used in the red dye. Now, I can't 100% claim this. We have to find it. I'll send it to you guys. You can talk about
parasites. I mean, come on.
And it was like, they said that the amount is so minuscule that it's not going to do anything to our bodies. But excuse me, so it's in Nerds. It's in like all these candies for kids. I'm sorry, what? It's called a Carmichael or something. It's a little bug. And so it's that kind of stuff that they're kind of sneaking in different places and thinking, well, if people don't ask, we won't say, and we'll try to find a way around it. I mean, I was just listening to RFK talk to Joe Rogan, and he was talking about the whole vaccine bamboos, everything surrounding the vaccines and, the history of vaccines. And, oh, I can't even get into that because it just really got me going about all of that and what we're doing, what we've done to our bodies. I'm an actor, and I had to get vaccinated for COVID if I wanted to work. I couldn't work.
LA was insane during COVID. I did not get vaccinated, and I'm glad I had an employer who supported that. But I mean, I didn't go out to dinner for 18 months. I didn't go anywhere because I wasn't going to get a fake card, and I wasn't going to do all that. I mean, we went through such a crazy time, and I kind of want to just jump into you a little bit with healthy eating. And I think Katie and I will each talk a little bit personally about some of our challenges. I am in my mid 40s right now. So, the brain fog is starting to creep in. Oh gosh, what word am I looking for is starting to creep in a little bit.
Collagen will help you with that.
And so I think that's what we want to talk about. And also healthy eating as well, because for me, I was always the kid who was overweight. I think I was just born that way. And then it wasn't until about probably almost my mid 30s that I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. And once I learned that, I was really able to start diving into figuring out why, even when I was on diets, I couldn't lose weight. It was just hard. It was always felt like it was harder for me than for other people to do that. And I've been on this health journey now over the last year or so. I've lost a pretty good significant amount of weight, and I'm still there, not where I want to be yet, but I'm still working on it. And I've noticed that what's really changed is about changing my mentality on nutrition and looking at food as fuel as opposed to emotional rewards or stressors, basically. And I have found that the Mediterranean diet works best for me because I can get some healthy fats. I'm focusing on proteins. I'm not a big red meat eater to begin with. I do like, an occasional filet or steak or something, but by and large, I can live on chicken and veggies for the most part. And once I started wrapping my head around that way of thinking, I've seen that the weight has shifted for me. And Dr. Ashley has been incredible with that as well. I've used her over the last several months, but this was something I started on my own. And I'm proud of it because it finally took me changing the way I think and really researching how hormones impact your body. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is no joke. And thankfully, I was never diabetic, but that can be one of the side effects of that diagnosis. So
hormonal imbalance is the first place people should look.
Yeah.
The first place your doctor
Let's talk
should
about
look.
that. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, your body is made up of various different hormonal systems, your endocrine, your pituitary hormones, your reproductive hormones, your adrenal hormones. And when one of those goes out of whack, they start bouncing off of each other because they're all affected by each other. So it's the first place I think that anybody should look. And, we're females. Our body bodies are made up a little bit differently, you know? And so we need to understand that when we're having issues with weight gain and we look at that and then we start looking at our periods and our periods aren't coming like they used to, or we're having PMS in a different way, you got to start checking your hormones, do a blood test and look into that and see what's going on, especially in these young women. And what's supporting this imbalance is the sugar in our system, all of these, you know, the GMOs and the pesticides and all these additives in these products. And young women's breasts, my niece's breasts, I didn't have boobs like that when I was 12. Like, I was like, what is that? You know, we're starting periods earlier.
Yeah.
As young women. And I think a lot of that, to me, this is my opinion, it has to do with our food, that it's what you're putting into your bodies. Are you putting in fresh, healthy, whole food, vegetables, fruits, animal fat, you know, animal meats, chicken, fish, turkey, red meat, you know, and where is it sourced? Are you getting your meat? Primarily for me, it's the meats. Like, if you have to get the best source of meat.
So many of those meats are pumped up with hormones. And just
terrible.
Real quick, not to jump in, but I think this is something that is unique to women. And maybe some of our male listeners didn't know this, but I mean, it took me 3 doctors to get a diagnosis of polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Wow.
I can't tell you how many doctors that would say, just lose weight, just go on whatever, what was the shake one? Slim Fast. Just try Slim Fast, or go to Weight Watchers.
Terrible
like,
for you.
Okay, I have been doing all of these things, but it's not working. It took a long time to finally get there, and I think with particularly women's issues, whether it's menopause, whether it's breast cancer, there is just not as much information available. There is now, it's changing, but I think doctors don't think outside the box. It's just, well, if you're overweight, lose weight. You know, it's not what could be causing that from the inside.
Right.
And that's really
at various stages of your life, because
Correct.
when it could be something different when you're in your 20s than it is when you're in your 40s, because now all your hormones are starting to shift and you're losing estrogen and you're losing progesterone and your hormones are completely imbalanced. I mean, I went into perimenopause at 40 and I got on bioidenticals, and I have to say, I did my research. I knew what I was doing, and I'm 54 now. It's the best thing I've ever done. I'm still on them now. I get checked every year. I'm fine. I don't have breast cancer. I don't have any, you know, that I think is a myth when you're talking about bioidenticals are completely safe. And there's a controversy around that. And for me, I knew that I believed that they were going to help me. And I think a part of each individual is you have to do a dive into yourself and say, what is it that I really want? What do I want for myself? Because I don't want to wake up every day with brain fog and undiagnosed weight gain that I don't know where it's coming from. And I'm working out 5 or 6 times a week and I can't get the weight off, and I'm eating well and I can't sleep now because my hormones are all over the place. I have insomnia. So for me, it was like the benefit definitely outweighed the controversy that was around it. And I mean, I hope that I'm saying this right, you know, but I feel like as we age, we have to understand what to supplement to optimally, you know, keep our longevity and our health as optimal as possible. So, you know, when you're 20 years old, you don't need to worry about your cholesterol so much. You know, my nephew eats like 8 eggs a day, and I keep telling him, don't do that. And he's like, oh, I'm fine, Aunt Cal. But I can't do that. You know, I have to worry about cholesterol at my age now. So it's like understanding what you need to do for your body at specific various times in your life. And right now I'm at an age where I want to be around for another 45 years. And it's possible. I eat organic. Absolutely. I take care of myself. You know, I don't get sick. I don't really go to the doctor. I go to the doctor maybe once a year and I get all the blood work done, the mammogram, everything done, and then I'm fine. But I will go and get a vitamin IV. Mm-hmm. I will supplement. I've got, I take my collagen powder twice a day. I take all kinds of supplements, and I feel great. And I think that I look great for my age. This is my hair. Like, this is my hair. These are my nails. These are not fake. These are mine. These are my eyelashes. Like, it's crazy, but I think this product helps me with that.
So let's talk about those supplements and what you recommend. And we work with a great company, Brightcore, that does a whole product lineup of supplements. Yeah. But let's talk about the collagen today, because a lot of people are thinking, okay, I need to make my collagen, my Profi, right? Collagen in the coffee in the morning, ready to go. Talk to us about this particular product, why collagen is good, who it works for.
It works for everyone. That's over the age of 25, because we start losing collagen between 20 and 25. And I don't know if you guys know, but our bodies, our bones are made up of 70 to 80. Our bodies alone are 80% collagen. 90% of our bones is collagen. 60% of our joints is collagen. Collagen is the glue that holds everything together. Our whole body is filled with collagen. It's the connective tissue that holds everything together. So if we're starting to break down collagen at the age of 25, and the only way to supplement it is by drinking probably a gallon of bone broth a day, which I don't know if you've had bone broth. I can handle maybe 1 cup, but I can't do a gallon. It's a little too much, but it's really animal bone, like bone marrow is the bone broth is the only way that you can supplement this other than a supplement. So, and there's various types of collagen that work for various types of systems. Some work for your eyes. A type 2 is for your joints. A type 5 is for the bones. A type 10 is for, the connective tissue that holds you together, helps with repair. So we have to understand that when we're supplementing, you got to find the product that one has got the most highest sourcing potential. It's finding its sources in the most kind of not so much organic, but it's just the highest quality of sourcing and what is being paired with the collagen. Because, we pair our collagen with hyaluronic acid, which it's a very expensive ingredient, but hyaluronic acid is the lubrication inside of your connective tissue. It's what keeps your bones from creaking and your joints from popping. And, when you have hyaluronic acid, it's I don't know if you've experienced any dry eye going through menopause, but that's like something that I had really, really bad. And I think that the collagen helps me a lot with that because of the hyaluronic acid in it. It helps with all of those, areas in our bodies that need that moisture. We've got vitamin C that it increases the absorption. We got biotin for your nails and your hair and your bones and all that good stuff. And, I don't know. Regardless of whether you get the product from us or not, which I claim it's the best one, you need to have a collagen supplement if you're over 25, period.
So I'm in a slightly different boat from both of you because I'm in my mid 60s, but I got to tell you, I think the best I have ever felt. And I think part of it is Dr. Ashley from PhD Weight Loss, who helped me understand I had to get the sugar and the carbs out of my diet. But just as importantly, she really emphasizes the importance of getting enough protein. And I think this is something I never heard before her. And so I go for about 130 grams of protein a day. And that's the other reason that I love collagen, because it gives me a big hit of protein, which is also really needed. And another book that I would really recommend that's been very helpful helpful to me is, and I know it's hugely popular. A lot of people have got it, but it's Casey Means, Good Energy, the surprising connection between metabolism and limitless health. And she really, I think if you want to tackle this, if you want to tackle your health issues, if you want to feel good, if you want to be a grandmother, a great grandmother who can get down on the floor and play with your kids. I mean, this is what your grandkids, this is what we all aspire to. It's really important to understand how our bodies absorb nutrients and what it takes to be healthy and why it's so important to get that protein. The other piece that I love about Casey Means' approach, though, is the importance of walking. I think this has been
exercise
really huge. Yeah. So I do a lot of different kinds of exercise, but I love the fact that she says the best thing you can do for yourself is just get out there and walk. We can all do that.
Yeah. I mean, I would say if somebody said to me, Raquel, what can I start doing today to just help increase my opportunity for longevity? And I would say, number one, eat a balanced diet, not from the pyramid diet, but a balanced diet made up of a good amount of protein, animal proteins, vegetables, fruits, some grains, get enough rest, at least 7 to 9 hours a night of rest. I know that's hard for some people to think, but sleep is so incredibly important. I wear an Oura ring, and this thing I'm addicted to. It's crazy, but I
have one too. I love it.
I love it. And, it shows me like when I'm not sleeping very well, and I can attest to that because I'll wake up and I'm like, I got to look at my Oura ring because I do not feel like I got really good rest. And sleep is extremely important. Closing your shades and getting darkness when you're sleeping and uninterrupted sleep, exercise, walking, some strength training, get little 2-pound, 5-pound weights and do it while, if you're watching TV, just do something to keep the muscles, you want to keep the muscle mass in your body as you age, because if you let your muscles atrophy and you continue to age, it's going to be that much harder for you to sustain yourself. So plenty of water. I mean, those are just, you don't need any money to do any of that stuff.
I have one more question for you, but I want to take a moment to tell you that as we age, we're all dealing with more aches and pains, thinning hair, wrinkling skin, even our nails start to get more brittle. I've noticed that. I want to tell you about this amazing product Katie and I have both been using. We've been talking about it today, and it's called Revive from Bright Core Nutrition. It's an easy to mix multi-collagen powder that helps to strengthen bones and joints. And the best thing about Revive is that it works from the inside out. It's also going to help you rejuvenate your skin, help you grow back thicker, healthier hair, and strengthen your brittle nails. Revive contains 5 types of collagen. That's what makes it incredibly different and special. Hyaluronic acid, biotin, and vitamin C, which work synergistically to make you feel and look younger than ever before. It's all natural, non-GMO, and we love it at Happy Women, 100% made in America. So today, exclusive for all of you listening, you can get 25% off with code Happy Women by going to mybrightcore.com/Happy Women, or you can call Brightcore and get up to 50% off and free shipping. Give them a call right now, 888-927-5980, and their staff's going to make sure that Revive is right for you. Again, 888-927-5980, or you can go online to mybrightcore.com/Happy Women. That's one thing, Raquel, that I don't want to gloss over, because we've talked about your health and, of course, the really important stuff about nutrition and including collagen in your routine, exercise, sleep. All of those things are really important, but we all are a little vain and we want to look good too. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's
we're all going to eat a little bit of sugar every now and then.
Every once in a while, right? Or maybe not get all the sleep we need.
Right.
If you want your skin to look your best, collagen, I don't care who you talk to, people are going to tell you about why collagen is so important for that. Yeah. But the fact that hyaluronic acid is in this too, talk about that impact to your outward appearance, not just what makes you feel good and helps you move, but it's going to make you look good on the outside.
Oh, it makes your skin softer. Hyaluronic acid, it plumps your skin. It will tighten your skin. I mean, the collagen itself is so good for your skin, because you got to figure, if it's good for all of your connective tissue and everything inside, it's got to be good for the biggest organ in your body, which is your skin. So, for me, it brightens my eyes. It makes my skin look tighter. Do you know what I've noticed from using this collagen?
Are you going to look at your arms, or the bye-bye arms? Because we all get the bye-bye arms.
Well, I'm not going to talk about the bye-bye arms, but I'm going to talk about the spots on my arms.
Oh, okay.
Which is very interesting, because, we get those little age spots. I was a sun worshiper. I can't help it. I try to stay out of the sun, but I like to enjoy myself, so I balance it. But I've noticed that it's lightening up my spots.
Oh, wow.
Which is, I don't even know if that's a byproduct of it, but that's what's been happening with me. I had melasma on my face from just going through the change, and that kind of subsided itself. It's very minimal now. This product, to me, I was taking, before Revive, I was taking other collagen products. And the one thing that I started to do the research on was the different types of collagen and what the importance is for them, which was what led me to Revive, because it's important to have those different types of collagen that work for the different systems in your body, and a lot of products out there have maybe type 1, maybe type 2, but definitely not type 5 and 10. And
That's incredible.
And I guarantee you they don't have the hyaluronic acid, which is all, like you said, made in America, non-GMO, sugar-free, dairy-free, soy-free, just the sourcing is so high quality. We use grass-fed bovine. We use wild-caught Atlantic cod. We use egg membrane, which is extremely high in collagen. So all of our sourcing is so amazing. And that, to me, is what makes it even better. But I just wanted to touch on something that you said in the commercial about calling. The reason why we want you to call is because we want to talk to you about what's going on with you. We're giving you an opportunity. I mean, I'm not going to be on the phone, but we're going to give you an opportunity to talk to somebody and understand, is this the right product for you? Maybe there's another product that you should be taking instead, but get on the phone and let us hear what's going on with you. We want to know. And that's why we're offering, a really good incentive, discount to call in. So, and you get a free bottle of vitamin D when you call in.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
and
incredible.
50%, up to 50% off, and free shipping. So it's like a no-brainer.
It's a great deal. And why not call, especially for your first order, just to see if it's right for you. Maybe there's some other products that'll work for you. How do you take collagen? I've been loving the strawberry lemonade, because I used to have just a flavorless collagen. So I would take that, mix it into some coffee or something. But this stuff mixes in great. I used to get the chunks at the top when I'd mix it in, and nobody wants the chunk of collagen.
No.
This stuff, I told you when you sat down, the mixability, if that's a word, of Revive is fantastic. How do you use it? How do you supplement with it, Raquel?
Well, I do it first thing in the morning. I drink a cup of mushroom coffee in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I always put a scoop of that in my mushroom coffee, because it is the unflavored is completely flavorless. Yeah. And like you said, it mixes so easy. And some other collagen products, and if you grab a chunk of that in your mouth, it's like it hardens in your mouth. It's so bizarre. So it mixes really well. So I'll do the mushroom coffee in the morning with my collagen. And then at night, I'll either do a cup of the strawberry lemonade with hot water, like a tea, or I'll just do a cup of like ginger tea. Sometimes I do for my digestion. And I just put another scoop of the unflavored in there. It's that easy. It's a no-brainer. It's not like something you have to really think about. It's downstairs right in, next to my coffee machine. It sits out. Just a scoop.
Yeah, just a scoop will do you.
And we even have a little measured scooper in there, so you don't even have to think about that.
And helpful for the aches and the pains, for the joints. This is really important for your joint health, for your body health. It will help you. It helps you sleep. It helps your nutrition. It helps you get those protein grams in if you are counting protein. And then, of course, what it does for your skin and for your hair and for your nails. It really is a great product. And again, we want to tell you about Revive. We're so happy to partner with them because it is just a really, really great product that you should try. All natural, non-GMO, 100% made in the USA. And right now, if you go online, you're going to save 25% with the code Happy Women. You just go to mybrightcore.com, mybrightcore.com/Happy Women. That's 25% off. But if you want to save up to 50% off and get free shipping and talk to someone, give them the situation that you're in, 888-927-5980, 888-927-5980. One more time, 888-927-5980. Mention Happy Women so that you get all your money saving offers, your free shipping. Raquel just said we get free vitamin D. I mean, come on, this can't be bad.
And women,
call them today.
Women need to be supplementing vitamin D. I'm sorry. We all do. Everybody. I take 8,000 IUs of vitamin D a day. But
and by the way, men, this collagen can be for you too. I mean, this is really important for men and women. Just because we're talking about it and it's code Happy Women. You will be a happy man if you get yourself on this. Women, get your husbands on this as well. Right. Again, the website. Thank you so much, Raquel, for sharing your stories with us and for your expertise. Raquel Gardner, thank you so much. And by the way, don't forget, you can pick up the collagen by calling what we've been talking about today. It really will help set you up by calling this number, 888-927-5980, 888-927-5980. Make sure you tell them Happy Women sent you, and they will give you up to 50% off and free shipping. And of course, you can always go online for 25% off at mybrightcore.com/Happy Women. Raquel, thanks so much for being with us. And thank you so much for sharing Happy Women with your friends. Those 5-star reviews really help us grow the podcast. So keep that up, and you can connect with us on all of our platforms. All you have to do is go to SalemPodcastNetwork.com. And of course, you can get Katie's book. That's available now as well, Next Gen Marxism. You can find her at katiegorka.org. And you can always search her out on Facebook. Just look for Catherine Gorka, or on Twitter at Gorka Katie. Find me, Jennifer Horn Radio, on Facebook and Instagram, and at Jennifer Horn on X and Truth Social. Thanks so much for joining us. It's another episode of the Happy Women Podcast.